All right, week 3 is in the books. We are back with Start Sit for week 4. Welcome into the DLF channel, guys. We are talking through start and sit at the running back position. And we got 4 names for you. 4 names that are probably hot topics in redraft and Dynasty, keeper, whatever you're playing, right? This is the time to make those tough decisions, and we're here to help you do that. So before we get in, if you like what we're doing here, guys, subscribe to the channel, like the video, questions, comments, drop all of that down below. All right, let's dive in. First guy on the list, it is Khalil Herbert of the Chicago Bears. Now, what we're about to say, what I'm about to say is obviously dependent on David Montgomery. If David Montgomery is out, that is how I am treating Khalil Herbert in this video. And that means he's going to play the Giants. He's going to be the starter on what has been, shockingly, one of the best run games in the NFL this season, right? The Bears are running over 34 times a game. Khalil Herbert just went over 150 yards in basically what amounted to his first start after Montgomery had success and went down early. And now he gets the New York Giants. The Giants are allowing over 125 yards a game on the ground just to running backs right now. That's important because obviously wrapped up in all the Bears' rushing success has been Justin Fields, has been the receivers somehow. But Khalil Herbert could have a monster day in what is probably going to be a close game because both of these teams just aren't very good, right? It doesn't profile as a game where the Giants get out to a huge lead and the Bears are forced to pass and then still run anyways. So not even that would really matter when you kind of get into what the Bears have been doing this season. But, right, Khalil Herbert is set up in a great matchup. He has looked fantastic. The Bears' run game has been fantastic. I don't see there's any way you can have him outside of your top 20 running backs right now. Like, that's where he's landing. He's over guys like Zeke, Dameon Pierce, A.J. Dillon. He is basically a must-start running back in every league, right? If you're looking at, 10-team as your smallest league, he's a top 20 guy. He needs to be in your lineup. I'm happy to flex him. The upside, the ceiling is extremely enticing. And yeah, right, there's always the downside of the running back position in general, right? Anybody can have a bad week. But the way the Bears have been running the ball, it's really difficult to say, no, they're going to flame out after 3 weeks, especially in possibly one of the best matchups they're going to have all season from a running perspective. This is the week. If you have Khalil Herbert, you got him off waivers, or you drafted him, this is the week you play him. This is why you have him on your roster. Moving on to our next guy here. It is Rashaad Penny of the Seattle Seahawks. And here's the thing. I get the matchup, right? Detroit is an even easier matchup than the Giants are. But Rashaad Penny is just not getting the touches that I want from my starting running back. A guy that I probably want to play as a RB2 or a high-end flex even. I'm just not going back to Rashaad Penny. It's just not going well for them, right? They are massive underdogs, which means they're probably going to be trailing the majority of this game. Detroit's offense has been spectacular. Seattle's defense is not, right? Like that's a fact. And basically, if they get down big, Rashaad Penny's not playing third down snaps. He's not seeing targets. He's not going to be used that way, which means if he's not running routes, he's not going to probably be getting a ton of carries because they're not going to be able to run the ball. I just don't see the path to success for Rashaad Penny this week. Obviously, right, he can find the end zone. He could score a touchdown. But that's not what I'm banking on, right? If I have a better option than Rashaad Penny, basically anybody that has a pulse, right? Devin Singletary, J.K. Dobbins, who I'm not even high on, but I'll take J.K. Dobbins over Rashaad Penny. Breece Hall, Michael Carter, all of these guys, James Robinson, obvious choices to play over Rashaad Penny. Hopefully you aren't stuck with him this week. But if you are, what can you reasonably expect? I think 8 to 10 points is probably on the high end. Again, it hasn't gone well. He hasn't topped 10 points this season. I'm out on Rashaad Penny. I'm just not buying in this week against Detroit. And jumping over to a guy I just mentioned, J.K. Dobbins, right? J.K. Dobbins is playing the Buffalo Bills. This is now his second game back this season. If you missed his first matchup, he had 9 total touches. it was not good. It was not even close to good, right? He had 7 carries, 2 targets, and looked like a guy that was returning from injury. I mean, that's what we expected to see because, it was a massive injury. He's coming back in week 3 of the NFL season. They've been slowly bringing him along, and now we see why, right? He's not the explosive J.K. Dobbins we saw previously. He has to build back up to that. And again, Buffalo has been an absolute wagon against running backs. 47 yards on the ground, allowing only 10 points a week to the running back position. And again, I'm out on J.K. Dobbins. I'm still gonna play him over Rashaad Penny. Like I'm not gonna drop him that far. I do think he sees an increased workload, and the Ravens are always a bet for 1 to 3 rushing touchdowns any given week. So that upside is why I'm gonna play him over Penny. But I'm still not going to rely on him as somebody that I think is a must-start guy, a top 24, top 30 running back. I just think it's too risky. There's not enough on tape yet to say, right, Dobbins is back. The workload still needs to build up. So again, if you have Dobbins, I wouldn't be playing him this week unless you have Rashaad Penny. Then yeah, go ahead and play J.K. Dobbins. All right, and to close us out, we have a rookie running back. It is Breece Hall of the New York Jets. And Hall in week 4 is going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Breece Hall needs to be in consideration for your lineups, right? I don't think he is a locked-in top 24 running back, but he is absolutely a viable flex play this week just because the Steelers have been a great matchup for running backs. I mean, it's a top 10 matchup. They're allowing just about 6 catches a game to the running back position. And that's huge because Breece Hall leads all running backs right now in targets in the NFL. He has been a true receiving back, and that was one of his huge strengths or major strengths coming out of college, and the Jets have utilized him that way. And to make things even better, he has finally played more snaps than Michael Carter, right? He played 51% of snaps to 49% of snaps. That is huge considering that is his highest total to date. It looks finally as if, right, Breece Hall is asserting himself. He is showing he is the better receiver, the better runner, just the all-around better running back. Michael Carter is always going to have a role. He's always going to be involved. Breece Hall is showing why they spent a high second-round pick on him. He is showing, right, that massive upside that we've loved in Dynasty and redraft, all of these things, and it's starting to come together. Pittsburgh could be his blow-up game. It really could be. This could be the spot where we look and say, all right, Breece Hall has arrived. He is a star. And again, I'm not going to say it's a guarantee. That's why I'm not starting him over Khalil Herbert or Zeke or like Dameon Pierce. But I am going to play him over guys like Josh Jacobs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tony Pollard. I think that's all the same tier. And really the upside, the appeal for Breece Hall is significantly higher. Again, he's a guy I just want to have in my lineups if I can find a way to get him there. So Breece Hall, a high-end flex, borderline RB2 in week 4. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. Again, thank you for watching. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the video. Questions, comments, any start-sit stuff that doesn't even have to do with these 4 guys, drop it down below. We will answer all your questions. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.